welcome to Puck Radio. Bienvenue sur la Puck Radio. My name is Louis Simon Lapointe. I'm working alongside Rob Snook and Rick Middleton. We're live from the press box at UBC Thunderbird Arena for the Vancouver 2010 Paralympic Winter Games. We're getting ready for game number 12 of the sledge hockey Paralympic tournament. In a few moments, Team Canada will face Team Norway. Bienvenue à nouveau aux Jeux paralympiques d'hiver de 2010 à Vancouver. Ici Louis Simon Lapointe en compagnie de Rob Snook ainsi que de Rick Middleton qui vous parle en direct de la passerelle de presse au UBC Thunderbird Arena. Tout ça à quelques instants de ce match numéro 12 de ce tournoi à 8 équipes de hockey sur luge. Dans un petit instant, la rondelle tombera pour cet affrontement entre l'équipe du Canada et l'équipe de la Norvège. And now to my great colleagues, Rob Snook and Rick Middleton.
Thanks, Louis. This is the kind of day that hockey players dream of, playing in front of a sold-out audience on home soil in a huge game that matters a whole lot. It'll be Team Canada against Team Norway in tonight's final match of the round robin of the Paralympic Sledge Hockey Tournament. My name is Rob Snook, and I've had the privilege of being part of 8 Paralympic Games, either as an athlete or as a broadcaster, and this is just a whole lot of fun to be here, and it makes it that much more fun to be working alongside Rick Middleton. If you're a hockey fan, you know the name. Rick, why don't you just remind folks just a little bit about who you are and how you came to be here today.
Sure, Rob. I played in the NHL for 15 years, from 1973 to 88. Retired in 1988 from the Boston Bruins. And it wasn't until about 2001 I got asked to coach the 2002 U.S. national sled hockey team. I took that job seriously. We went into Salt Lake City in 2002 with them winning only one game, and we won the gold medal. And I've been hooked on this sport ever since. I got so much excitement out of being in Salt Lake City. It's nice to be back and feel all this energy in this building.
And of course myself, Louis Simon Lapointe, pleased also to join you tonight. I'm a journalist in the city of Quebec City, especially also about sport, hockey, football also. And my job tonight is to invite you to text your questions to the 604-404-PUCK. Ask anything about sledge hockey to our panel, 604-404-PUCK. Enjoy this game. The crowd is red.
And we are underway. Mark Dorian has 4 goals already in the tournament, gets it in front for Booker. He tried to slide a pass out, couldn't make it work, and a penalty coming just 16 seconds in against Team Norway. It'll be a hooking call. Canada heads to the power play.
Well, before I was going to talk about power plays and penalty killing, and you know what's really weird is that Norway has only taken 2 minutes of penalties this whole Paralympics. And less than,
16 seconds.
16 seconds in, they take another 2 minutes. Very loose defensively. Canada was wide open in front, and that's why they took the hook.
Canada has scored on 25% of its power plays in the tournament. That's second best behind the U.S. Here we go. Adam Dixon has 4 points already for Canada. Leaves the puck for Bowden. Back to Dixon. Top of the circle. Doesn't shoot. Pass for Bridges. He's got a rocket, and he scores! Billy Bridges' first goal of the tournament is a rocket launch. It's 1-0 Canada.
He's got a rocket. Johansson didn't even move on that. He had no shot of moving. He had no idea where it was going. And Billy had all the time in the world to blast that one.
Boy, oh boy. Does that ever come off the stick, Rick?
Right up in the top corner. Even if he knew where that was going, he probably couldn't have stopped it.
Started with some pretty slick passing by Team Canada. And that's the fastest goal of the tournament. We had our fastest in the U.S. game, a minute 5 in just before this. This was 31 seconds in. Billy Bridges, hard to believe it's his first of the tournament. He leads the tournament with 5 assists, and that's his first goal.
He's the inspirational leader for this team, and he certainly got him off to a good start.
Bjornstad is absolutely rammed into by Ray Grassi. We have not hit the 1 minute mark, and we've got speed, we've got goals, and we've got hitting. The puck in the Norwegian zone. Westlake chasing his man. He'll throw a pretty good hit alongside Odan Bakye, but it's an icing call against Norway.
That's Canada's game against Norway. In every tournament that I've seen, they just come out and they hit them. What they have to watch is they don't take too many penalties, because this Norway team is potent. They have some of the best players in the world, and they're not afraid to go down and put them on. And they'll certainly have them on the ice on the power play together.
These teams have met multiple times in previous World Championships and Paralympics. Canada lost against Norway on the round robin in Torino 4-1, but then won by 3 goals in the gold medal game, a 3-0 win over Norway.
Canada's really trying to test Johansson early. They're throwing everything at the net, even when they're shorthanded.
Hervé Lord's pass just out of the reach of Matheson, now controlled by Labonte. He'll swing it across for Dixon. His pass finds Hervé Lord, but he just had it touch, I think, his sled or his stick and avoid the icing call.
The truth being, Norway is a bigger team than Canada, and you expect to see some hits from them on the Canadian players.
And here comes Royne. He scored twice in the last game, and he works it in front. And a penalty coming here. It'll be against Canada. Will it be a penalty shot? I don't think so. The Norwegian player Johansson, Lloyd Remy Johansson, was in alone and was interfered with. And is Paul Rosen, the Canadian goalie, hurt?
Well, Johansson didn't go into him, but his own player, Labonte, slammed into him. The captain, he'll be okay.
Jean Labonte getting a holding penalty. And so now we'll watch Team Norway's power play. It should be noted, Rick, that Norway has only scored 3 goals in regulation so far in the tournament. Canada has scored 15 now after that goal just seconds in by Bridges.
Well, Norway plays a different game. We've stated it before. They're not a hard-charging, forechecking team. They take their time. They wait until the other team makes mistakes. They pounce on them. They're very good at doing that. And in both their games before this, they won them late in the game by pouncing on mistakes. Now, it's a dangerous way to live. I'm not sure I want to play that game with Canada tonight.
Team Canada tied for first in the tournament in penalty kill at 100%. Norway's power play will not get a chance to start quite yet. The linesman didn't like the way they dropped the puck, but Norway coming in 3rd best on the power play. Face off to the left of Paul Rosen. Go ahead, Rick.
Pettersson must have really cheated there, because he won that so clean they threw him out.
And so now the face-off will be taken by Helga Bjornstad against Greg Westlake for Canada. Not sure what the delay is here. The referee talking to the folks at the timekeeper's bench, probably adding a second or two to the clock. 1 second for sure after the unofficial puck drop.
Rob, Rick, I also want to take a second to invite everyone who's listening to us also here at UBC Thunderbird Arena any questions about sledge hockey. So you can ask our panel absolutely anything about sledge hockey. We are waiting here with our cell phone, 604-404-POC. Vous pouvez également nous écrire via la messagerie texte par courriel toutes vos questions à propos du hockey sur luge, en français également, 604-404-7825.
Canada slams the puck off the boards. Adam Dixon, who leads the tournament in plus-minus at +9 on this penalty kill.
Tommy Rovelstad is the fella they're going to want to get the puck to when they set up in the Canada zone. He's got a cannon.
Rovelstad wears number 4 for Norway. The other big gun is number 3 on the Norwegian side, but everyone who's on the ice right now for Norway is a strong international player. Canadians back to get it. Dixon will slam it off the boards and all the way down the ice. Johansson out of his net, stops the puck and leaves it there for Rovelstad.
Canada respects their power play so much, they're not fooling around. They're just dumping it down the ice.
And again, shot down the ice. And again, it's the youngster Dixon, the 20-year-old. Jeremy Booker chasing after the puck deep in the Norwegian end. Norway's 2 games so far have both ended in 2-1 wins. One was against Sweden in a shootout. The other was against Italy in a come-from-behind win. So Norway has not had the kind of goal totals, certainly, that we expected, although we knew that they play a different style, and we've mentioned it many times. Bjornstad now will fire one wide of the Canadian net. Rovelstad chases the rebound. Rosen gets a stick on it and will cover it up.
Yes, our first question tonight on the 604-404 puck. There's someone asking, how many times have Canada and Norway met? All-time advantage to which team?
I don't know if I have that stat in front of me. Is it, oh, here we go, all-time record. Paralympics and World Championships in favor of Canada. 4 wins, 3 regulation losses for Canada. So 4-3, 1-1, Canada's record.
Excellent, interesting question. And you can also write your name. In what section are you also? We want to say a special welcome to the people joining us on ParalympicSport.tv on the internet.
Well, there are the 3 of us whose voices you'll hear, and then Jeff Tsui is our incredibly well-researched researcher, and he's the one who came up with that stat. There's a shot by Norway, Royn, and that was blocked. And Dixon able to get a stick on it and bang it out to center. Bowden and Rovelstad. Rovelstad will get to it and push it ahead. And then Westlake is going to, I think, get a penalty for teeing here, as he rammed into Bjornstad, I believe it was, or roughing is what they're going to call it.
Canada's all hyped up. They got all their fans here. It's their building. They're just rolling along, beating Sweden 10-1. They got to keep their emotions in check, not start running around trying to hit everything that moves, because they're going to take too many penalties and it may cost them.
It is 1-0 Canada right now. The goal coming at the 31-second mark. A native of Prince Edward Island, Billy Bridges, the goal scorer. Dixon and Bowden, the assist getters, Adam Dixon and Brad Bowden.
One interesting fact about this Norway team, they've always been in the final of every Paralympics so far. So you never count them out.
There's a shot in the face, off the face-off. The save made by Rosen. And Graham Murray getting a stick on it after he is knocked down. Who's going to get the penalty here? It's going to be Norway, and it will be Helge Bjornstad. Or will it? Yes, it will. And he doesn't realize it yet, but the linesman is now directing him to the penalty box.
He thought it was Canada that got the penalty. You know, I'm not sure Paul Rosen's okay. I see him holding his shoulder. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Another question here on the 604-404 PUCK puck. We all know hockey was invented in Canada. Where was sledge hockey invented?
I have it right here. It was invented in Sweden, and we'll tell you a little more about it at the break.
Jean Labonte, the Canadian captain, racing in. He's got Billy Bridges. He gives him a pass. He shoots. The puck's in the net, and the referee says no goal. Billy Bridges is upset at the referee, and they're going to take a look upstairs. Rick, I don't think the whistle went before the puck went in. I'm not so sure this should count or not, but...
Well, the net might have come off before Johansson gets knocked into the net.
Yeah, it should be a goal.
Yeah,
shot,
it looks like it,
the
right.
puck in there, the net's off. It's a goal. It should be, but I don't know if it's going to count.
If they got an angle on it.
The first angle we saw up here in the booth, the fans in the arena are not seeing it, but the first angle that we saw looked like a goal. But we will wait and see. Billy Bridges is, as you like to say, Rick, he's loaded for bear in this one. He is just absolutely charging out there.
Well, we really haven't seen that much of him. They haven't played him on a regular shift. I don't know whether they were saving him or they just want to give other guys ice time in those other games, especially Sweden with a 10-1 lead. It's no goal.
Now they are saying no goal. Interesting call. Billy Bridges does lead the tournament in assists, though, with 5 after just 2 games. Canadians pretty much leading in all the offensive categories. Westlake has 5 goals. Dixon is a +9. All of those leaders in the tournament. But USA is still waiting, and they may be Canada's toughest opponent, presuming they can get by Norway. And we shouldn't presume anything like that.
No, you can't presume. We've been wrong more than we've been right, I think.
Dixon up ahead. The Bowden was pretty much upended by the referee on the play. Neither saw the other until the last moment. And now Bridges after Hagen. Bowden was there too. It's 4-on-4 hockey right now. There's lots of room to skate. Billy Bridges steals the puck, skating out towards center. He knows Brad Bowden's with him. He'll flip it in. Bowden thinks about chasing and then heads off instead.
It's funny, you watch some of these Norway players, you know, playing against Sweden or some other teams, they hardly hit. They play against Canada. You see Rolf Einar Peterson running at guys, really dishing out the body.
Mark Dorian had a hat trick in the last game against Sweden, and a sloppy play by Stig Torre Sve almost caused an opportunity for Dorian. Now Grassi will dump it in. The Canadians will chase.
The Ray Train, nicknamed the Ray Train. We know why.
Ray Grassi, number 21 for Team Canada. He loves to charge in and make the hits. Right now he's cruising out near center. Norway is about to have, Canada is about to have a power play. It'll be a very, very short one.
13-second power play.
And it's starting right now. And out of the penalty box comes Westlake. He'll head to the bench, and on the ice is Billy Bridges. The play is in the Norwegian zone, trying to clear it. And now the Norwegian penalty ends. Murray watching Bjornstad closely. Norwegians 0 for 2 on the power play. Canadians 1 for 2. So right now the special teams battle being led by Canada. They lead in the game 1-0. Billy Bridges, the goal scorer, flips it into the Norwegian corner. And Bridges rams into his man, and he's about to get a penalty as he knocked over Morten Verns. And again, Rick, there's that lack of discipline.
Yep.
And hopefully it won't hurt the Canadians. If you're a Canadian team fan, if you're a Norwegian fan, you hope it does.
Well, Canada has always opted to play physical, even to the point of taking too many stupid penalties, risking the fact that they might get burned with power plays. So far it hasn't hurt them. But I've got all the respect in the world for this Norway team at their offensive prowess. And we'll see if they can take advantage of it.
All right, Norway's power play gets another chance to work. Third time already. We're not quite 7 minutes into the game. Rolf Einar Pedersen, who's a prolific international goal scorer throughout his career. Remember, Rick has mentioned it several times. Norway has been to the final at each and every Paralympic Winter Games. They know how to get there. The Norwegian head coach is Morten Hagland. One of their assistant coaches is George Kingston, the former head coach of the National Hockey League. There's a shot off the face-off by Eskil Hagen. I think Rosen got a piece of it. Norwegians keeping it in. Hagen taken away by Brad Bowden. He's super fast. Bowden, Rovelstad. Bowden trying to get around. He does to Westlake. Shoots and scores! A short-handed goal for Canada. Westlake and Bowden connect. It's 2-0.
Well, that's the confidence they have in their penalty killing. They're not worried about taking penalties. If you got a couple of penalty killers like Bowden and Westlake that can outskate the Norway D and make nice plays like that, maybe they should take more penalties.
Maybe Norway should do what you can do in football and decline them. But Greg Westlake is on fire, but that only happens with an absolute race to the puck with Bowden out dueling Tommy Rovelstad.
Well, the different thing in sledge hockey, as able-bodied, you can't reach out with your stick to poke check. I mean, you can, but you don't have that much of a reach from the sled. So Bowden just got a little lead on Rovelstad, was able to throw that puck over. Tommy's a big boy, pretty hard keeping up with Bowden.
Ray Grassi absolutely hammers Stig Torre Sve, who's slow to get up, but now is up. And Mark Dorian dodged a check from Rolfiner Pedersen. And then this time, Grassy is on the wrong end of a hit. Is he going to get a penalty, though? I'm not sure. Who's going to get it?
Oh, Grassy's going, but then Pedersen came in and teed up Grassy with his sled. This is starting to get nasty.
It is, and we're only halfway through the first period of a rematch of the gold medal game 4 years ago. Are we getting penalties on both sides?
Yeah, they got Pedersen for the tee after the first call, and they got Grassy for the first call, I'm pretty sure.
Which means, Rick, more 4-on-4 hockey.
That's right.
Lots of fun. Louis?
Yes, of course, we were asking about the history of l'histoire du hockey sur luge, history of the sport.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got so wrapped up in
Yeah,
this game.
we're talking about Sweden here.
Well, sledge hockey was invented at a rehabilitation center in Stockholm, Sweden in the early 60s by a group of people who wanted to continue playing hockey despite their physical disabilities. They modified a metal framed sled, or sledge, which they call it, over in Sweden and everywhere else but the USA, with two regular-sized hockey skate blades that allowed the puck to pass underneath. Using round poles with bike handles for sticks. That's how the game started, and it's evolved into what you see today.
Great. Later, I'll have a question for Coach Middleton from Mr. Christmas.
Oh, Mr. Christmas. Father Christmas?
Chris Mans.
Oh, Chris Mans.
Chris Mans.
That was
You know
Father.
Chris Mans.
From my 02 team from
Right.
Buffalo, New York.
I saw him out in the hallway. He's hanging out with some of his buddies. We are back underway. And if you're watching on TV, you know, and you're here in the building, you've seen us underway for a few seconds as we were chatting. Bjornstad, Norway is on, or sorry, it's 4-on-4 right now. Norway is on the prowl. No, it's 5-on-4.
They must have given Grassy possibly
A secondary penalty.
Yeah.
Or Pedersen, 2 minutes for roughing. So yeah, Grassy got a double minor.
double minor.
And we were so busy chatting, we missed that. Play is out near center ice. Brad Bowden, and he caught his man just with a kind of a half an arm, Loy Remy Johansson. There's a shot that's deflected high in the air, and it goes over the glass and out of play.
Well, they're taking runs at Bjornstad and Peterson, and they're trying to keep everybody honest here because, you know, if you give Norway too much room, they can be dangerous. So they're forcing them to keep their heads up tonight.
6:09 remaining in the first period. Billy Bridges and the Greg Westlake have the goals for Canada. Bridges first of the tournament, Westlake's sixth of the tournament.
A shorthanded goal.
And Canada leads the tournament in that category with 3 shorthanded goals in just 3 games. Dixon trying to get it out. Adam Dixon, former MVP of the World Championships a couple of years ago. Norway is now 0 for 3 on the power play in this one. Mark Dorian makes a little spin play, manages to keep it alive along the boards in the Norwegian end. And
Norway's almost been on a continuous power play here for the period, but it doesn't seem to do them any good.
No, 5.5 minutes to go, and Canada is up 2-0.
Coach Middleton from Chris Mans. Here we have this one here. He's just wondering, actually, if you're coaching Team USA right now, who would you like to see win this game? And also, who do you think will get, which team will be the best probably for Team USA to face in the semifinal?
Good question.
Well, I want to see Canada win this game so that Norway finishes second and Canada plays Norway in the semifinals so they can beat Norway.
USA plays Norway in the semifinals.
I mean, so USA plays Norway in the semifinals, so then USA can play Canada in the finals, which is the way it's supposed to be.
So Team USA would have probably do you think that Team USA would have the hardest semifinal if you compare to Canada and Japan?
I think so. I mean, I've got all the respect in the world for Norway. I'm not taking anything away from Japan. But I think, you know, the way USA handled them today, you know, they have a little trouble scoring. They're not as good a team as Norway, so I think Canada may have an easier time with Japan than USA will have with Norway. But in order to get the USA-Canada matchup, that's the way it would have to play out. So, Chris, good question. That's what I would like to see, as I imagine that's what you would like to see. And hopefully I'll see you sometime soon.
Fellas, I'm just wondering, when has anyone seen Todd Nicholson yet for Team Canada? Number 19.
No, you're right.
I don't know if there's an injury situation here. We know that Todd will play until his last breath.
Well, they got Lord out there now. This is their third line with Matheson, and imagine that's Whitson on the other side.
It is Whitson, yep.
But they had Nicholson really at center with Westlake and Bowden, but we haven't seen him.
I don't know if we've seen them at all. If we've seen him at all. Number 19 on Canada. Here is a chance for Rolfinder. Pedersen shot, stopped by Rosen, and he slides out of the crease. The puck is loose, grabbed by Rosen with his blocker hand after he dropped his stick, and Paul Rosen is upset.
Well, they went through the crease, digging the puck. The puck was still free. He's got every right to be upset, but he didn't have hold of the puck. And Norway's coming in to get it. But you know what? Part of this might be because of all the penalty situation.
There he is.
Yeah.
As soon as we say it, there's Todd Nicholson on the ice.
It's because of all the penalty situation. He's not a penalty killer, obviously, or he already would have been out there.
Nicholson and Westlake and Bowden now make up the forward line for Canada. Dixon and Labonte. Adam Dixon has really impressed me so far in this tournament. 20 years old.
Him and Yohi from the U.S. really are very similar. They're very calm, collected back there, a lot of patience, a very good quarterback.
And they always seem to have their angles right.
Yeah.
And when you're a defenseman, you can't skate backwards. Well, even when you can, you've got to be good on the angles. Brad Bowden races in. He might have a chance. He got spun around by Royne, who got away with a bit of a hook or a hold, I think. Because Brad Bowden had an angle on him and just blew right past. Dixon with a pass for Labonte. He can't track it down. Pedersen trying to take advantage, and Labonte does well to recover. 4.5 minutes to go, first period. It's a 2-0 lead for Canada. Bradley Bowden pushes the puck ahead. Greg Westlake follows up. He's got Nicholson lurking in the slot if he could get it to him. And we've got a stick lying right in front of the net. Hopefully it doesn't get into play. Now Nicholson works it out front. Now Bowden will take over to the blue line for Dixon. Across the blue line for Labonte with a shot. High one over top. Knocked back to the corner by Johansson. To the blue line it comes for Labonte. For Bowden, it was behind him. And he'll just send it right back in again.
Norstoga giving the puck away in his own end. He's got to watch that.
Canadians head back to pick it up. Adam Dixon with 3:40 remaining in the first period. Dixon, just 20 years old. He's one of several players who come from Ontario on Team Canada. Brad Bowden is all over Eskil Hagen to try to make him cough up the puck. Now Knut Andre Nordstoga shoots it into the Canadian zone. Dixon back for it. Bowden's going to pick it up along the boards. And he is clobbered on a good hit. I think that was Nordstoga who hit Bowden. Norway has had 3 power plays here in the period and failed to score. Canadians have had 2 and scored on 1 of them. Billy Bridges overskates the puck in his own zone. Royne lost his stick. Now Bridges goes back to get it. I think he realized that was his puck and he was quick to react. Bridges now out to center ice. He's got Booker with him. They do well to stay on side. And Hagen trying to clear it for Norway. Jeremy Booker comes up with it. He's given a good jolt shoulder to shoulder. Canadians keep it in. Graham Murray flips it back towards the corner, and Norway able to relieve the pressure. This will be an icing call. with 2:15 remaining in the first period. 2-0 Canada. Louis, we pass to you.
Absolutely. On the 604-404 puck. Encore une fois, nous invitons à nous envoyer vos questions. Si vous voulez en connaître plus sur le hockey sur luge, l'invitation vous est lancée via messagerie texte au 604-404-7825 PUCK. And now we have this question about why isn't there a women's sledge hockey team?
Boy, we get this question every game.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
Is this a woman calling in?
I don't know. There's no name here.
You know what? It's a fair question, and it's probably a question a lot of people are asking. We'll get to that in just a moment. Matheson digging for the puck. It's underneath the sled of his teammate, Hervé Lord. Now it's squirts free. Matheson quick to respond. Around the boards, and Norway's going to get it out to center. Thomas Jakobsen could not get past center ice, though. 4 players scramble for it. Now Matheson ahead for Murray, and he's just quick to flip it into the zone. He realized he had almost overskated it. Derek Whitson throws a hit. Now Hervé Lord responds too for Canada. The 52-year-old is in the Ottawa area. He's been part of Canada's sledge program since it began in 1994, and he might be the most fit 52-year-old you'll ever meet. Icing call here against Norway.
Well, the pace of the period has really slowed down. That's got to be in Canada's favor with the 2-0 lead. Hervé Lord, he's had gold in Torino, silver in Nagano, bronze in Lillehammer, gold in the World Championships at Marlborough and Salt Lake City in 2000. Well decorated.
And he's a former track and field athlete who was part of a world record relay team back in 1994 in wheelchair track racing. Billy Bridges in behind the Norwegian net. He's playing out on the line right now with Brad Bowden and Greg Westlake. A lot of the time these guys have been split up, but not right now. Dixon shot tipped, it went off the goalpost. Rebound batted wide by Bridges. Bowden chasing after it. Bridges follows up, absorbs a hit, and he is gonna barrel away with the puck. To the blue line, the pass for Labonte, but Bjornstad will steal it. Might get a chance here for Norway. Dixon gets a pretty good jolt on Bjornstad. The shot did get through to the net though, and Rosen was able to stop it. Now Bowden for Canada, head for Westlake, bats it off the boards, not out of the zone though. Canadians will get another chance, and this time Adam Dixon makes sure, sends it down the ice. Will this go for an icing? Yes, it will, with just 13.5 seconds left in the first period. Might seem a little bit dramatic, but this is a big face-off, Rick. If Norway could somehow find a way to get a scoring chance, that would be huge.
Well, they're going to try to get it to Ravelstad, I'm sure, but I don't see him out there. I'm very surprised they don't have him out there for this face-off. That's why you can never tell with this team. Everything you think about hockey and some of the things that North American teams do, they seem to do it differently.
And Norway cannot pull the face-off back to get a shot. The Canadians will probably just push it off to the corner. They do. We expected that because we're North Americans and so are they. And the horn is about to sound. It does. And Team Canada with a goal on its first shot of the game by Billy Bridges. 2-0 after one period of play.
Well, you know, according to the shot clock, it was a pretty even period. I wouldn't say that. I would think that Canada had the go in the first 10 minutes. The second 10 minutes of the period was kind of even, but they got the jump, and I think the short-handed goal took a little wind out of Norway's sails.
There's your story, Louis, after one period of play. Bridges and Westlake for Canada. It is 2-0.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you again in a few minutes. Et bien entendu, revenons quelques instants sur cette première période ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena. Duel entre l'équipe du Canada et l'équipe de la Norvège. Duel qui décidera de la tête pour le premier rang du groupe B. Le premier but du match a été inscrit à la 31e seconde de la rencontre. Le but le plus rapide jusqu'à maintenant en début de rencontre dans le tournoi. C'est le premier, et oui, le premier jusqu'à maintenant, pour le numéro 18, Billy Bridges. Les passes vont aux fiches de numéro 11, Adam Dixon, et du numéro 27, Brad Bowden. 1-0 Canada. 7 minutes plus tard, à 7 minutes 14 secondes pour être très précis, Glenn Westlake, le numéro 12 du Canada, inscrit son 6e but du présent tournoi. La passe va également à la fiche de numéro 27, Brad Bowden, un 2e point pour lui dans ce match, du fait qu'après les 15 premières minutes de jeu, 4 tirs de chaque côté. So the first goal of the night for Team Canada was scored at the 31st second. Billy Bridges, the fastest goal starting the game since last Saturday. So Billy Bridges' first goal of the tournament for number 18. Adam Dixon and Brad Bowden will also get an assist on this one. So 1-0 Canada. And at 7 minutes 14 seconds, Glenn Westlake, number 12, will score his 6th goal of the tournament. Once again, Brad Bowden, number 27, will get a pass on this one. 2-0 Canada after the first 15 minutes of play here at UBC Thunderbird Arena. Regardons quelques instants également ce que l'avenir nous réserve ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena, car il y aura beaucoup d'actions ici au cours des prochaines journées, également à partir de demain, puisque déjà on connaît les équipes qui vont s'affronter demain dans les matchs de classification, soit les rencontres numéro 13 et les rencontres numéro 14 pour ce tournoi paralympique de hockey sur luge. Tout d'abord, à midi, demain, affrontement entre l'équipe de la République tchèque et l'équipe de l'Italie. Par la suite, l'équipe de la Suède va affronter l'équipe de la Corée. Ce match sera le 14e dans ce tournoi et présenté à 19h. Les deux perdants de ces matchs-là se rencontreront vendredi à midi pour déterminer laquelle des deux formations va terminer le tournoi en 8e et en 7e position. So I was saying that both losers of tomorrow's game at 12 o'clock and also at 7 o'clock, they will face on Friday at 12 at noon to decide which team will finish 7th and which team will finish in 8th position. Of course, the two winners will also play against on Friday at 3:30 p.m. It will be game number 18 of this tournament, so we will finally know which team will finish 5th and 6th. Bien entendu, il y aura des affrontements assez intéressants, merci, prévus ici vendredi, et ce ce sera plutôt jeudi, pardon. À partir de midi, les deux rencontres de demi-finale seront présentées ici même au UBC Thunderbird Arena. Match numéro 15, match numéro 16. Un match sera prévu ici à midi, l'autre à 19h en début de soirée. Vous aurez compris que les deux gagnants se retrouveront en grande finale ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena ce samedi à midi pour le grand match de la médaille d'or. Of course, then we will have the chance to present you also on Puck Radio both semifinals on Thursday at 12 for game number 15 and at 7 p.m. for game number 16. Both winners of those games will meet in the big gold medal game. We are planning this game for 12 o'clock on Saturday, so be there also. We will broadcast all this on Puck Radio. And both losers of the semifinals will meet in the bronze medal game on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Un peu plus tôt aujourd'hui, il y avait bien entendu 3 matchs qui ont été présentés ici même au UBC Thunderbird Arena. On fait ensemble un tour d'horizon très rapide. Tout d'abord, en levée de rideau aujourd'hui, la rencontre de 10h était le match dans le groupe A, match numéro 9 du tournoi. L'équipe de la République tchèque qui l'a emporté par la marque de 4-2 sur l'équipe de la Corée. Un peu plus tard en journée aujourd'hui, l'Italie s'est avouée vaincue 1-0 contre l'équipe de la Suède. So earlier today, Czech Republic won 4-2 against the team of Korea. And at 1:30 p.m. this afternoon, Team Sweden only need 1 goal to win. That's what they did, 1-0 against Team Italy. And at 5 p.m. earlier also tonight, Team USA won easily 6-0, 6-0 against Team Japan. And after the game, I had a chance to go down here at UBC Thunderbird Arena to meet 2 of the key players on the American team. Taylor Lipset and also Joe Howard, excuse me. Et alors voilà, j'ai eu la chance également un peu plus tôt ce soir, immédiatement après le match, de descendre à la hauteur de la patinoire et de rencontrer deux joueurs clés du côté de l'équipe des États-Unis, soit Taylor Lipset, également Joe Howard. Et je vous fais entendre ce que ça donne. Here are those quick interviews with Taylor Lipset and Joe Howard. The round robin games are now over. Now we're looking for the medals. So how do you feel at the moment?
We feel really good. You know, we came into the tournament #1 and we're seeded #1 going into the crossover, and that's exactly what we wanted to do. We just want to build every game, get better, and take one game at a time, and hopefully we'll peak on Saturday night.
At the moment, I've got a feeling that everything is positive around you. Am I right?
Yeah, everything's looking good. The guys feel good. No one's injured. We're healthy. We're ready to play.
How do you like your trip so far in Vancouver?
It's been amazing. The people of Vancouver are very nice. Van Auken has done an awesome job putting on the Paralympics. The village is amazing. The facilities are amazing. The rink, the people, it's just all great.
You also have your fans here at UBC Thunderbird.
Yeah. It's crazy. I think it's the biggest crowd we've ever played in front of, and so it's exciting to hear all the cheering, and it's nice to see no matter what game is going on, people are here and they're cheering for both teams, and so, you know, I'm glad everyone's getting a little sense of the crowd and the vibe that's around the UBC Thunderbird Arena.
Happy also about yourself. Everything's going pretty well also on the ice for you.
Yeah, I'm having a good tournament so far, a few goals and assists, and so as long as we keep working as a team, you know, I think we'll keep getting better. So.
Excellent. Best of luck for the rest. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Joe Howard, you just finished your first 3 games here in Vancouver. How do you feel at the moment, as personal, also as a team?
As a team, I think it's team first, so I think we're getting stronger every game. We feel more confident. Had a day off yesterday to rest up, spend a little time with family, get away from things for a little bit. Had a nice skate this morning, good team skate. Came out hard tonight. Put one in our first shift, so that always helps, and we just built off that, and we're playing some pretty good hockey right now. So,
you feel your team pretty more and more confident also on the ice?
Oh yeah, definitely. We win those one-on-one battles. We go out there every shift, and the puck's ours. That's our mindset, and it's just those one-on-one battles that leads to a victory. And I think we had to step on them tonight a little bit. It's whoever wants it more, you know. And they're a great team. Don't get me wrong. We just got the better of them tonight. So.
Also happy about yourself. It's going pretty well for you also on the ice.
Oh yeah, I feel like I'm playing good. Drawing some penalties, getting some hits. It means you're playing hard, you know. Finally put one in the net tonight, so that helps. Playing pretty good though. I can play better.
do you feel that your team is at the point you were expecting after those 3 games? You're exactly where you were?
Definitely. We didn't want to look past anybody, but we knew we were probably the strongest team in the pool right now, coming in ranked #1, going into the crossovers #1. So it's what we wanted. It's right where we want to be.
Now what's going to happen for your team in the next few hours?
We're free to go with our family. We have to be back at the village by 10. And then tomorrow we have a day off, and again, we get to spend some time with our family and take a little break and relax our minds and just get away from each other for a while before we beat the hell out of each other, you know.
But during this day off, do you still watch maybe videos about maybe the other team you'll face?
Yeah, we keep up. We'll probably go somewhere and watch this game that's going on right now. Probably not as a team, probably individually, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow. But yeah, we pretty much know what each team has out there, Canada and Norway. We've watched a few games against other teams, and we kind of know where we sit. So,
if I ask you Canada or Norway, what do you pick?
I don't have a choice. Doesn't matter.
Excellent. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Donc voilà 2 entrevues que j'ai réalisées un peu plus tôt aujourd'hui, immédiatement après le match de l'équipe américaine face à l'équipe du Japon. Je vous rappelle que l'équipe des États-Unis l'a facilement emporté face à ses rivaux japonais par la marque de 6-0. Let's have a look also to this game earlier tonight here at UBC Thunderbird Arena. Team USA was facing Team Japan 2 goals in the first period for the United States of America. Adam Page, his first goal of the tournament at 1 minute 5 seconds, and actually 11 minutes later at 12:01, Greg Shaw also scored for USA. It was 2-0 USA after the first period. 2 more goals also in the second period. Alexei Salamone, his third of the tournament. Taylor Chase also scored 4-0 after the first 30 minutes. And also 2 more goals in the third period, which finally Joe Howard got his first goal, scored his first goal finally of the tournament at the 34th minute of the game, and Nicky Landeros also scored for USA unassisted. So USA won this game 6-0 on the shots on goal. USA 19, 6 for Team Japan. Alors voilà, regardons également quelques résultats du jour ici à Vancouver. Il y avait beaucoup d'activités également du côté du centre paralympique de Vancouver, où il y avait des matchs au curling en fauteuil roulant. Un peu plus tôt aujourd'hui à 12h30, présentation de cette round robin, de cette session numéro 7. Et le Canada a été, je vous dirais, largement dominant par la marque de 15-1. Vous avez bien compris, 1-5-1. Donc 15-1 sur l'équipe de la Suisse. Donc le Canada qui l'a emporté dans cette rencontre face à ses rivaux de la Suisse. Match également à partir de 12h30 aujourd'hui. L'équipe de l'Allemagne qui l'emportait 7-6 contre l'équipe de l'Italie. Et l'équipe de la Norvège également qui l'a emporté par la marque de 11-3 contre leurs rivaux japonais. So we also have those results of tonight's game at the wheelchair curling session at the Vancouver Paralympic Center. Round robin session 8 tonight that started at 6 p.m. So let me tell you that we have some results. Team Sweden wins 6-4 over Team USA. Team Korea won 9-3 against Team Italy. Team Japan 6, Team Switzerland 5. And in another game, Team Great Britain wins 9-2 against Team Germany. Alors également, regardons quelques instants, parce que le Canada aujourd'hui a remporté une autre médaille ici aux Jeux paralympiques de Vancouver. Ça se passait plutôt du côté de Whistler, vous le savez. Notre Québécoise Viviane Forêt qui a remporté une médaille de bronze. C'est une deuxième médaille de bronze aujourd'hui pour Viviane Forêt. So another bronze medal today for Viviane Forêt, her second bronze medal in 24 hours. So she won this medal earlier today in Whistler in the women's giant slalom, visually impaired. So congratulations to Viviane Forêt from the province of Quebec. So she won this second bronze medal for her in those Paralympic Games. So we can also have a look at the medal count after this day 5 here in Vancouver. The Russian Federation is still leading the medal count with 15 medals. We also have Team Canada now in the second place, tied with Team Ukraine. Germany after is with 6 medals, then Austria, USA have 4 medals. Same thing also for Belarus. Then comes Slovakia, Italy, Japan, and all the other countries there. Spain also got 2 medals, Norway 2, Australia 2, and 1 medal for New Zealand, Finland, Switzerland, and Poland. In a few seconds, the second period will start here, and let me give the microphone to my colleagues, Rob Snook and Rick Middleton.
All right, thanks, Louis. As we get set for the second period, Team Canada has not put its players on the ice yet. Not really sure why that. Oh, yes, sorry, they have.
They're hiding down here. You can't see them
There's a light blocking the way. I'm looking at the Canadian bench thinking, why is there only 5 players on the ice? I'll be all right. We're getting set for the second period. My name is Rob Snook alongside Rick Middleton, the gold medal winning head coach for Team USA at the 2002 Salt Lake City Paralympics. Rick took a 6th ranked team into those games and came out with a gold medal.
And there's Todd Nicholson. We haven't seen much of him because of all the penalties in the first period. He's starting for Canada with Westlake and Bowden. Westlake now leading the tournament with 8 points.
And right off the face-off, Westlake gets the puck to Graham Murray. It goes across the line. Westlake, Bowden, flip shot, scores! 11 seconds into the period, Westlake sets up Brad Bowden, doesn't waste any time, shoots immediately, 3-0 Canada.
Make that 9 points. That was a great play by Bowden. He had Johansson moving to the right to cover the angle and just got it off. Not hard, just threw it at the other side of the net. No, absolutely knowing that the goalie, Johansson, had no way of changing his momentum and getting back on that puck.
Canada scored 31 seconds into the first period. They've scored 11 into the second.
That may be the fastest goal from the drop of a puck in Paralympic history. We'll have to look that one up.
Rick, I was thinking in the intermission, the next goal of this game is going to be huge, because if Norway scores it, they're right back in the game. The Canadians will start doubting themselves. Instead, it's a Canadian goal, 11 seconds, and they were probably thinking the same thing. And boy, oh boy, Norway is in a heap of trouble. And here's another interesting stat. Norway has not scored a goal in this tournament yet in the second period. Canada has not allowed a goal against in the second period. So we'll see if those numbers stand up.
This game got a little physical in the first period. We'll see if that continues.
Ray Grass.
More chippy than physical.
Ray Grassie's shot towards the net. Canadians keep it in. Bowden, Westlake. Bowden again in behind the net. He's got 3 points already in this one. He passes it right through the crease. Canadians can't keep it in.
Bowden is like the ever-ready bunny. You can hit him, but he just keeps going.
Well, and if you see him, Rick, off the ice, he's a big, strong guy. His lower body is small, and so he kind of fools you, but he's big and strong. And there's a shot for Norway and a penalty coming up, I'm assuming against Canada. And it is waiting for the call from the referee, Derek Berkebile from the USA. It's against Paul Rosen, I believe. The goal, no, it's not.
The puck was really never around him.
He seemed to be pointing at Paul Rosen, but I think maybe he's not sure what the call is, Rick. I know it's against Canada, and it is against Graham Murray, I believe, for roughing.
Now we missed that one. We were looking at the play and the shot on net, and the rough must have been off to the side.
I'm wondering if maybe, did he give a shot to the Norwegian player just as he was shooting?
Just as he was shooting, very possible.
Kind of a poke to the shoulder or to the back of the head.
I was following the puck to see if it hit the post, and it just missed it on the outside.
And so the score, 3-0 Canada. Norway, its fourth power play of the game. They are over so far.
I don't know if it's true about the face-off percentage. I'd like to see it, but it seems like Canada's winning all the face-offs in every zone.
Rick, I wonder if Tommy Rovelstad's hurt, because he's not on the ice.
Yeah,
number
he
4.
hasn't played much. Think he's got the Canada flu?
Well, he played a fair bit in the early part of the first period, at least half the period. I remember he took a heavy, heavy hit. Here's a chance for Norway with a shot that just went wide. Johansson, Lloyd Remy Johansson.
Well, we also saw Norway practice, and we never saw Rovelstad on the ice either, so he may have an old injury that might have got aggravated by a couple of those hits.
And they may be thinking maybe now we'll rest him up for the semifinal, which at this point might be more important, but there's still a lot of game to be played.
Yeah.
I just can't help but wonder, has Norway ever come back from a 3-0 deficit? There don't seem to be that kind of team.
I don't think they've been down 3-0 too often.
Well, 4 years ago they were in Torino. Billy Bridges skating past Hagen, who manages to turn away and get the puck for Pettersson, who is given a good ride by Bridges. And Norway just can't penetrate the blue line. I didn't hear a whistle, but clearly it must have gone.
Fair check. Good hit by Billy.
That was an excellent chance for Norway on Johansson's opportunity. Louis?
Couldn't get the handle.
So once again in this second period, you can text your questions to the 604-404-PUCK, so you can ask the panel anything about sledge hockey. Évidemment, nous voulons vous rappeler que vous pouvez nous envoyer, nous faire parvenir vos questions via la messagerie texte. Donc, posez les questions qui vous viennent en tête si vous voulez en apprendre plus sur le hockey sur luge à nos analystes ici Rob Snook, Rick Middleton également, 604-404 PUCK. I also want to welcome everyone who's watching us from all around the world on ParalympicSport.tv.
And while we were chatting there, Brad Bowden rather, and Greg Westlake almost caused, well, they did cause a bit of a scare for Norway, and Roger Johansson, their goaltender, pretty much coughed up the puck in behind his own icing line. The Canadian penalty box opening again. Is Greg Westlake getting a penalty?
No, they
it's a Norwegian
Pedersen
penalty.
The penalty, and I'm not really sure because it looked like Westlake came up high on Pedersen, but Pedersen might have given a retaliatory shot. We'll see if we catch it on a replay.
It's a 3-0 lead for Canada. Goals scored by Bridges, Westlake, and then Bridges again. Bowden. And that's where Canada sits. And now on the power play.
The saying in hockey is initiate, don't retaliate. And Canada is certainly initiating everything out on the ice here, which is their style.
Very interesting question here on the 604-404 puck. What players have the hardest shot and how fast have they been clocked?
Well, you saw one of them earlier in the game tonight, the first goal of the game by Billy Bridges, 31 seconds in. He may have he has one of the hardest shots, if not the hardest.
Yep.
As far as I know, there's no official speed gun on any of these guys. I know Tommy Robelstedt from Norway has a cannon. I've seen it. Taylor Chase from the USA.
Brad Bowden darting in on the left wing, got a shot away. The save made by Roger Johansson.
Do you have an idea, maybe an average, or maybe their best shot?
I would say they're approaching 90 miles an hour,
90?
89, 90 miles an hour. Remember, they're shooting with one hand, sitting down. So
you mentioned it earlier. I watched Billy Bridges break a pane of glass at a practice in Torino 4 years ago. And so we certainly know that takes something to do that, although sometimes those can happen with an odd angle shot.
Just where they hit it.
Yeah, now Bowden in front for Westlake, and he scores his second of the game, his 7th of the tournament. The Canadians now in a 4-0 lead.
Is he hot or what? Those two guys are finding each other everywhere. Everything's working for them right now. If the USA should meet Canada in the gold medal game, they're going to have to figure out a way to stop that line because they're just doing whatever they want right now. Nobody can stop them. Of course, he's all alone in front, which really helps. No defense to be seen.
Greg Westlake gets on the end of that pass from Brad Bowden. Billy Bridges will get the second assist. And Canada scores 2 in the first, 2 already in the second before the 4-minute mark. Canadians 2 for 3 on the power play.
Well, Norway's had a couple chances, but I wouldn't say a lot of scoring chances. But the ones that they've had.
Here's a chance for Norway. Pedersen, left-hand shot, and he rips it wide of the net.
The ones that they've had, they haven't hit the net, I was just about to say.
And now Pedersen again. This one went off the back of his teammate. Graham Murray, the Canadian defenseman, hurt in the corner, and his trainer hustling out as he grabs the linesman to make sure he doesn't go down. Don't need 2 injuries on the play.
He was chasing Pedersen on that play, and then Pedersen shot the puck. I didn't see what hit Murray.
I wonder if he just lost an edge and went into the end boards. Murray, you're right. Chasing. Oh, and he went in head first
into the sled.
Or into the side. No, into the sled. You're absolutely right.
Which probably threw the shot off, which was a great play by Murray. He took one for the team. You know that question why they wear face masks? Now you know.
We had a few times this question in the last few days.
He's using his head on that one, but we hope it's not. I mean, you can't mess around with concussion type injuries, so hopefully that's
Well, a
he's
play
fine.
like that, I wouldn't worry too much about the head because it's totally covered. It's the neck, because you can really snap the neck there. You don't see that too often where a head goes into a sled like that.
Team Canada did absolutely thrash Norway a couple of years ago. I want to say it was in the gold medal game at the World Sledge Hockey Challenge, maybe in PEI, where they finished them off 7 or 8-0 in the gold medal game. But most of the games between these teams have been uber close. Dixon with a pass ahead. And then Nicholson will just make sure it gets out and send it to center, where Nordstoga will shoot it back in again. Labonte for Booker. Jams the puck in. Again, just to mention, number 4 on Team Norway has not played at all in the second period. Tommy Rovelstad comes into the game with 2 goals. One of the best players in this sport over the last decade. Mark Dorian now snaps a shot. That was stopped by Johansson. And now Royn.
And Norway also knows that even though this game did mean a lot, if they lose this, they're not out by any means. They still got a date with the USA and a chance to get back into the gold medal game. And that's the way they think.
Eskil Hagen with a shot wide of the Canadian net. So really there's no pressure on Norway right now then.
There really isn't. Whether they finish first and play Japan or whether they finish second and play the USA. I'm sure they would much rather play Japan, but they're still got a shot at the gold medal game, which in the past they've always won and got into it.
Rolf Einar Pettersson goes back in his own corner to pick up the puck, and he rams into his own man. And a couple of players seem to be stung a little bit on that. Pettersson now recovering, goes into the corner to grab it.
Well, when things don't go right, you start running into your own players.
Well, you got to take out your frustration on somebody. Pettersson doesn't know where the puck is right now. Now he realizes it and lets Nordstoga grab it.
With a 4-0 lead, Canada now can rest some players, play their third line, give them some ice time.
Rick, I'm surprised we haven't had this question yet. I'll get to it in a second. Hervé Lord in front of the net. Matheson was there, and it's covered up now by Johansson. Roger Johansson and Paul Rosen, the 2 opposite goaltenders, used totally different goalie sticks. And I wonder, what's your speculation on the difference?
You know what? I never really noticed that, but you're right. And Johansson has been like that for many, many, many years. It's almost like a paddle, right?
He could just have more. He could use that, and he could put a stick on the end and would give him more to touch the puck with.
Yeah.
Even if he wanted to hit it with the paddle.
It may be something that he grew up with. Not sure how you start using something like that, but it's like me. I don't use tape on my stick. I got used to it. People go, you don't use tape. Why? No, I never did.
Well, you scored a few goals in your time.
I wouldn't advise people copying it, but it worked for me.
Almost 1,000 NHL points, so I think you're allowed. Although maybe you would have got 1,000 if you'd used tape.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay. I got 1,000. I would have had 1,000 if I played another year. Let's put it that way.
Well, yeah, I'd have got 1,000 if I'd have played 13. But
it's all about injuries. Huh?
Yeah, it is.
The puck is in the Norwegian zone. They are down 4-0. We're nearing the halfway mark of the second period here in the final game of the round robin. The winner takes Pool B. The winner will face Japan in the semifinal game. The loser will face Team USA. We've talked about it.
Now, Norway without a shot this period is certainly not a way to come back against a team like Canada, not being able to generate any shots on net.
Good to see Graham Murray back on the ice again. That was, in fact, his shot. I don't know if they'll register it as a shot, as I think it was going wide. Murray now makes sure he gets across center, pushes it ahead, now chases after it, and he's just knocked off stride and an offside anyway at the Norway blue line. Louis?
Yeah, once again, on the 604-404 puck, hi, are interference rules the same? That's the question here. And also they say thanks for the broadcast. We're also really happy to have you with us.
Oh, that's great. Well, interference is interference. You cannot run into or touch another player that does not have the puck. But it's a little different in sledge hockey because you have your sleds. And there's a lot of what they call picking in sledge hockey. And really, it's like basketball. If you have the lane, then it shouldn't be called interference because the other player runs into you. But if you run into him first, then it's interference without the puck. So that's the way I look at it.
If you're in the lane already, but if you go to get in his lane, if you go to move your lane so that you get in his lane, that would be interference, would it not? Yeah.
Even though he runs into you, you're basically forcing him to. It's in sledge hockey, it's a hard call sometimes for the referees.
Yep.
Mark Dorian has the puck, scored his first ever Paralympic goal in the tournament, and then followed up with 3 more. Coming into this game, he was second in the tournament with 4 goals. Dorian wearing number 7, playing on this line with Bridges and Booker. Dixon will flip it in. Jeremy Booker chases after it. Nordstoga around the boards. Canadians just want to keep it in here all night long if they can.
If you notice, the physical play has dropped off somewhat, except for Bridges just knocking over Lloyd Remy Johansson in the slot, which the referee didn't see.
No. And the puck was like a half a world away on that one.
Yeah.
He sort of made it look accidentally on purpose, but when one player doesn't even get affected by it and the other one gets spun around and lands on his back, you know, he pretty much wasn't expecting it, and the other one was. Canadians changing on the fly. Go ahead, Rick.
I'm sure Coach Jeff Snyder, there we go. There's an interference call.
It's going to be against Norway.
Yeah. Jeff Snyder's telling them, don't take any stupid penalties. We don't really need to run at them anymore. We got a 4-goal lead. Let's play a smart game, a hard game, but a smart game.
Canadians have their goaltender pulled right now and have possession of the puck. Ray Grassi fires it right on net. Johansson the save. He'll hold on. I think he was maybe hoping for a rebound there with 2 players going to the net.
Well, he really just got the puck on net. I think he wanted to get the face-off in the opposition zone next to Johansson to give them a chance to win the draw, which they've done just about. I don't know. It's got to be up there at 80%, I think, on the face-offs. Get possession and work the puck around.
5:12 to go, first period. Interference penalty against Kjell Vidar Royn, who was the Norwegian hero in their last game against Italy. He scored 2 third-period goals, allowing Norway to avoid a second tie after regulation. They pulled out a shootout win against Norway, and they managed a late regulation time win against Italy.
And he's a big boy also. He's been throwing his weight around out there.
We were talking about the goaltenders and their equipment a little bit earlier. We have this question here. Do the goalies get to choose their helmet designs or logos?
Yeah, sure they do. Paul Rosen has one specially designed for these games.
And the person is also asking, if so, who designs them?
Well,
probably their...
I don't think there's one league or, you know, they all come from different countries.
Yeah.
I think they all have different people, depending on who they know and who's good.
Yep.
I believe the person who does it for a lot of the NHL goalies is the one who's done Rosen's.
Oh, right, in North America, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but maybe Johansson sent it to North America to be done. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're right. There's one also in Montreal, I think, who does lots of the NHL, yeah.
Maybe they don't do it in Norway, or... It's an interesting question. It's funny, we get a lot of questions that we don't even think about.
You're right.
We take for granted.
And that's why it's great to have the cell phone here and the 604-404 puck number. That's great to hear and to read all those texts.
Canada is on the power play for the next 54, 53 seconds. Jean Labonte, the Canadian captain, makes a pass to Nicholson. It ends up on the stick of Dixon, and he scores! Johansson didn't see it. He still hasn't seen it, and it's in the net behind him. It's 5-0 Canada.
He didn't even look like he was screened that bad on that shot. It wasn't like Dixon got it away ultra quick. We'll take a look on the replay here. You got 2 guys chasing one. That was the problem.
No,
well, you know, from our vantage point, it's easy to say that. From his vantage point, obviously he did not see it. He's not even, He's watching it go by.
But I want to, if Todd Nicholson made that pass on purpose, that's about the slickest pass I've seen all week. He had it go off the shaft of his stick, and Johansson just watched it.
I think he thought it was going wide. He watched all the way go right in the net.
Well, now he can watch the rest of the game because he's heading to the bench.
Yeah.
And he'll be replaced by Kissinger Deng, his first action in the tournament. And we've got some good stuff on Kissinger Deng, don't we?
Yeah, we got some great stuff on Kissinger.
We watched him.
Probably the only goalie ever born in Khartoum, Sudan.
In sledge hockey.
What do you think? Well, maybe
in any hockey. Maybe.
I'd like to hear the story how he got from the Sudan to Norway and then started playing sledge hockey. We're going to go down. We're going to find that out.
Yep.
Okay?
For sure.
Offside call against Norway at the Canadian blue line. If you're wondering about the rules of offside, it's the skate blade, is it not?
Yes.
So
Yes.
the blade of the skate, just like a standing person's blades of their skates, if there's anything between the blade and the blue line on the offensive side before the puck gets over, then there's your offside.
Some of those sleds are pretty long. It isn't the tip of the sled because some sleds are longer than others. So they do it on the skate blades that are right under each player's butt as they sit in those buckets.
Graham Murray back in his own end for Canada. He took a heavy hit a little while ago. He kind of rammed his own head into the sled of Rolfiner Pettersson. And the Canadians take the puck away from Pettersson now. Up ahead, Hervé Lord takes a shot, dumping it in, and then he takes a jolt from Morten Verns. Teams are at even strength. Here we are, late stages of the second period. Canada scored 31 seconds into the first, 11 seconds into the second. That's pretty much set up the way this game has gone. 5-0 Canadians. That scramble along the boards. Jakobsen is using both hands, and I don't know if he's going to get the penalty, but that would be my guess. Thomas Jakobsen for roughing. But maybe there's more.
Is he their designated goon?
Are you suggesting because we haven't seen him much? He's playing a little
well,
more
he
in this
was
game.
throwing some punches there. Him and Grassy.
Jakobsen's going to get the only penalty, I think. He's pointing at Grassy saying, well, if I'm going, what about him? Maybe he's got a good argument, but I think it's only Norway.
Well, that's the frustration. You know, when your team's down 5-0 and you're getting hit all over the ice, you got to take it out on someone.
Well, Team USA made a statement earlier today, romping to a 6-0 win over Japan. Team Canada making a similar statement. It is 5-0 against Norway with 2:42 to go in the second period.
Another draw one.
Dixon just taking his time for Canada into the middle. Bridges was trying to go right stick to left and couldn't do it.
Morten Verns, the defenseman, went out to the point man there. He was looking at Svei as if like, what are you doing? How come you're not going out? Okay, I'll go.
Now Dixon shoots it, deflected, out of play. So there's some internal disagreements you're suggesting, Rick, on the Norwegian side?
Well, they're going to talk right now. Verns just going over to Svei. He's like, you got to go out to that guy. Not me, I'm the defenseman.
I don't know if you guys can see, but is Tommy Rovelstad even on the bench? Or has he basically taken his gear off and he's going to rest up for the next game? I'm not sure.
We'll see when the period ends because they'll be turning their backs to us. We'll see if we've seen them before.
If you've just joined us, welcome to our broadcast here at the UBC Thunderbird Arena on Puck Radio or anywhere in the world at ParalympicSport.tv. We're absolutely thrilled to have you along for the ride. And Team Canada so far has been all over Norway pretty much since the drop of the puck. Brad Bowden, long pass to center, finds Westlake. Who else? And then Pedersen getting back. He's not used to being humiliated like this in a game. Rolf Einar Pedersen, and Westlake is just all over him like a bulldog. To the blue line it comes. Labonte across for Dixon. Throws it to the middle and intercepted by Schwee. This might be a break for Bjornstad, but hustling back is Labonte, and he rams over Bjornstad. And the Canadians now trying to set something up. Bridges tried to leave it for Bowden as he overskated it, and he couldn't get to it. Now Dixon as well to stay onside. Nice little pass for Bowden. Flips it ahead. Westlake can't quite reach it. Too bad, because that was looking like a pretty play developing. Now Pedersen has it go off his sled. Back into the Canadian corner. He and Labonte collide. Rolf Einar Pedersen traditionally leads his team in scoring at these tournaments.
Three Canadian players in the corner to get the puck, and now they bring it out. That's the way you play hockey. You get puck possession, you move it up, you bring it in, you dump it in, you change.
Just to finish the thought, Rick, on Rolf Einar Pedersen, we've talked about him in the past. Usually averages 2-3 points a game in these tournaments. He's got 1 assist so far, and we're almost two-thirds of this game and then 2 other games. So 2 games and 2/3 in, and he has picked up 1 assist so far in the tournament.
Well, as we spoke earlier, Norway just hasn't seemed to be themselves throughout the whole tournament. I don't know if it's that they're older now, 8 years older since '02 when they were really dominant. They don't play all their best players together like they used to. They'll go down and play them a whole game. They look like a dejected bunch, and I don't blame them.
Bridges and Westlake scored for Canada in the first. Bowden, Westlake, and Dixon for Canada in the second. It's a 5-0 lead for the host nation after 2 periods of play here at the UBC Thunderbird Arena. And now we pass to Louis with the second intermission.
Alors merci, nous allons maintenant regarder ensemble ce qui s'est passé dans le match jusqu'à maintenant au UBC Thunderbird Arena. Dernier match de 4 aujourd'hui en cette journée du mardi 17 mars 2010. 3e jour d'activité de manière plus officielle ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena dans ce tournoi paralympique de hockey-luge. Alors, l'équipe canadienne qui a affronté l'équipe de la Norvège ce soir. Maintenant, 2 périodes sont terminées dans ce match. Alors, on va faire un petit tour en première période pour aller voir de quelle manière ça s'est déroulé. Le premier but du match a été inscrit à la 31e seconde, alors que Billy Bridges inscrit son premier filet depuis le début du tournoi pour le numéro 18, 1-0 Canada. Adam Dixon, numéro 11, Brad Bowden, numéro 27, ont également récolté les passes sur la séquence. 6-7 minutes plus tard, à 7 minutes 14 pour être très précis, Glenn Westlake enfilait son 6e filet depuis le début de la compétition. C'était alors 2-0 pour l'équipe canadienne. Le 27, Brad Bowden également récolte une passe sur la séquence. C'était sa 2e du match. Après les 15 premières minutes de jeu, c'était 4-4 au chapitre des tirs au but et 2-0 au chapitre des points pour l'équipe du Canada. Transportons-nous maintenant en 2e période. À la 11e seconde, en début de 2e période, Brad Bowden, encore lui, inscrit son 3e point du match. Son 3e de 4 finalement depuis le début de la rencontre. Dans son cas, il s'agit de son 3e but depuis le début du présent tournoi. 3-0 Canada à la 11e seconde de la 2e période. Graham Murray également a récolté une passe sur la séquence. À 18 minutes 46 secondes de la rencontre, Glenn Westlake a inscrit son 7e but de la présente compétition. 4-0 Canada. Brad Bowden, encore lui, un 4e point pour lui ce soir. Billy Bridges également a inscrit son nom sur la feuille de pointage. Quelques instants plus tard, à la 26e, je vous dirais 26e minute et 4e seconde du tableau, Adam Dixon inscrit un autre filet. Le 5e pour l'équipe canadienne, c'est pour le numéro 11, il s'agit de son 3e filet depuis le début du tournoi. Le 17, Jean Labonté, ainsi que le numéro 19, Todd Nicholson, également obtiennent des passes sur la séquence. En 2e période, tout à l'avantage du Canada, 6 tirs pour l'équipe du Canada contre aucun tir pour l'équipe de la Norvège. Au chapitre des tirs au but au total, après les 30 premières minutes de jeu, 10-4 pour l'équipe du Canada. Let me remind you also that in the first period of this game between Norway and Canada, 2 goals were scored by Canada. First of the tournament for Billy Bridges at the 31st second of the game. And a few minutes later, Glenn Westlake scores his 6th goal of the tournament also for Glenn Westlake. Another goal for him, that was his 6th of the tournament. Let's go now and have a look at the second period here at UBC Thunderbird Arena. Brad Bowden scored his third goal of the tournament. It was only at the 11th second in the second period. Glenn Westlake also will get a goal, his 7th of the competition, of the tournament, his 2nd also of the game, and Adam Dixon will score Canada's 5th goal of the game after the first 30 minutes of the game. 6-0 for the shots on goal in the second period, so 10-4 for the shots on goal, but actually for the goals it's 10 for the goals at the moment. It's 5-0 for Team Canada. Also, there was also a few games here earlier today here at UBC Thunderbird Arena. Team USA was facing Team Japan tonight at 5 p.m. And Team USA also was we did well also on the ice. Adam Page scored in the first period for Team USA. Greg Shaw also did the same a little bit later in the first period. It was 2-0 Team USA after the first 15 minutes. 2 more goals for USA in the second period. Alexei Salamone, his 3rd of the tournament. Tyler Chase also will get a goal, 4-0 after 30 minutes. Two more goals also in the third period. Joe Howard, his 1st of the tournament, and Nicky Landros, also his 1st of the tournament unassisted. So 6-0 USA final score. Team USA also, who had lots of shots on goal. USA 19, Japan 6. Let's talk about and also have a look at another game that was presented here earlier at UBC Thunderbird Arena today at 1:30 p.m. Team Italy was facing Team Sweden, and Team Sweden only needed 1 goal to win the game. That's exactly what they did. Marcus Holm scored in the second period, 1-0 Switzerland. That was the final score. A 2nd goal in the tournament for Marcus Holm. Aaron Andersson, number 4, also had a pass point on this goal. And the first game of the day was at 10 a.m. earlier today. This morning, Czech Republic was facing Team Korea. Czech Republic was leading 4-0 after Zdeněk Krupika scored a goal. Tomáš Vojtěch also scored a goal. Pavel Kubek also scored in the second period this time, and Erik Forstik also scored in the second period. So it was 4-0 Czech Republic after the first 30 minutes. But finally, in the third period, Team Korea scored 2 goals, their first 2 goals of the tournament. Byung-So Cho scored his 1st of the tournament. It was 4-1 for Czech Republic. And a few minutes later, 9 seconds only before the end of the game, Jong Kyung Lee scored his 1st goal of the tournament. So final score 4-2 for Czech Republic, who also was leading on the shots on goal 21-7. Il y avait évidemment beaucoup d'actions cette fin de semaine ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena. Beaucoup de rencontres. Le match de ce soir entre l'équipe de la Norvège et l'équipe du Canada met un terme à la ronde préliminaire. Donc, dès demain, on va passer aux choses un peu plus sérieuses. Et donc, on sera demain dans les rondes et dans les matchs de qualification. Donc, il y aura 4 équipes qui vont se rencontrer demain. Tout d'abord, à midi, le rendez-vous vous est également lancé via l'équipe de Puck Radio. Demain, le match numéro 13 à midi. Demain, mercredi, le 17. Le match de midi sera entre l'équipe de la République tchèque et l'équipe de l'Italie. Et finalement, en soirée à 19h, l'équipe de la Suède qui va affronter l'équipe de la Corée. On Thursday here at UBC Thunderbird Arena, 2 playoff semifinal games. Game number 15 at 12 and game number 16 at 7 p.m. Both winners will face, of course, in the gold medal game that will be played here at UBC Thunderbird Arena on Saturday at 12. So take a good note of this. We will be following also all those games here on Puck Radio. The gold medal game, the last game, number 20, on Saturday here at 12. And of course, both losers of the semifinals games, they will face on Friday night at 7 p.m. for the bronze medal. So we will also be here at UBC Thunderbird Arena. Regardons ensemble également les médaillés ici au cours des dernières journées ici aux Jeux paralympiques d'hiver de Vancouver de 2010. Évidemment, l'équipe du Canada qui a récolté quelques médailles. Encore une fois, aujourd'hui, une médaille de bronze pour l'équipe canadienne. Il s'agit de sa deuxième médaille en 24 heures. Je salue le travail de Viviane Forêt qui a remporté une médaille de bronze en ski alpin, slalom géant chez les femmes, personnes aveugles. Viviane Forêt qui, la journée précédente, soit hier, a remporté une médaille d'argent. C'était dans le slalom chez les femmes, donc ski alpin, personnes aveugles, slalom féminin. Viviane Forêt également hier qui a remporté une médaille de son côté. We also had a few medals in the last few days here for the Canadian athletes. I was talking about Viviane Forêt, who today won a bronze medal. That's her second medal in 24 hours. Yesterday she won the alpine skiing women's slalom, visually impaired. She won a silver medal there. So today bronze medal for the women's giant slalom, alpine skiing, visually impaired. And let's have a look also to the other bronze medal that Canada won in the last few hours here in Vancouver. Karolina Wisniewska, she won a bronze medal earlier yesterday, alpine skiing, women's slalom standing. Silver medals also for Team Canada. Colette Bourgogne, she actually won the first medal for Canada in those 2010 Paralympic Winter Games here in Vancouver. It was the cross-country skiing women's 10 kilometers sitting. Also, I want to congratulate Josh Duke, alpine skiing men's slalom sitting. He won a silver medal. And of course, we have two gold medals here in Canada. They are from Lauren Wollstonecroft, alpine skiing women's slalom standing, and of course, Brian McKeever, cross-country skiing men's 20 kilometers free, visually impaired. Vous vous souvenez peut-être justement de Brian McKeever qui avait été presque choisi sur l'équipe canadienne aux derniers Jeux olympiques d'hiver de Vancouver. Finalement, dans la compétition de relais, n'avait pas été retenu, avait été le 5e homme finalement sur l'équipe canadienne. Et finalement, on n'en prenait que 4 pour prendre part à cette compétition. I was talking about Brian McKeever. As you know, he received the first gold medal of those 2010 Paralympic Winter Games here in Vancouver in the men's 20 kilometers free, visually impaired. McKeever was the first Paralympian to have made the cut for the Olympic Games, but however did not compete after being ranked 5th in a 4-man event. Également, au cours des dernières heures, aujourd'hui, ici à Vancouver, il y avait quand même beaucoup de compétitions. Je vous ai parlé des événements de Whistler. Il y avait du ski alpin. D'ailleurs, ça a été retardé, je vous dirais, là, en plusieurs moments en raison des mauvaises conditions climatiques là-bas. Il y avait notamment aujourd'hui beaucoup de ski alpin du côté de Whistler. Et ici, à Vancouver, il y avait bien entendu, oui, le hockey sur luge, mais également le curling en fauteuil roulant. Et je veux mentionner également quelques résultats à ce chapitre, alors que l'équipe canadienne était en action aujourd'hui au curling en fauteuil roulant à 12h30. Toujours dans la phase préliminaire, la 7e session. 15-1, victoire du Canada contre l'équipe de la Suisse. Donc, grosse victoire canadienne. Il y avait d'autres matchs aussi présentés en tout début d'après-midi. L'équipe de l'Allemagne qui l'a emporté à l'arraché 7-6 contre l'équipe de l'Italie. Et finalement, match relativement facile pour l'équipe de la Norvège qui l'emporte 11-3 contre l'équipe du Japon. There was also a few, lots of action tonight at the Vancouver Paralympic Center for all the wheelchair curling sessions. It was session number 8, round-robin game. So tonight at 6 p.m., 4 games there at the Vancouver Paralympic Center. Let's have a look to those results here. Team Sweden bet Team USA 6-4. There was also this game between Team Korea and Team Italy. And Korea won 9-3. Team Japan won 6-5 against Team Switzerland. And also we had this game between Team Great Britain facing Team Germany. And Team Great Britain won this one 9-2. demain pour la journée du 17 mars 2010. Évidemment, beaucoup d'actions encore une fois dans le cadre des Jeux paralympiques d'hiver de Vancouver. L'équipe de curling canadienne qui va disputer 2 rendez-vous, un à 12h30, un à 18h, alors qu'à 12h30, l'équipe du Canada va affronter l'équipe de l'Allemagne. Il y aura aussi des matchs, il y aura également des combats pour la 9e session entre l'équipe de la Suède et l'équipe de la Grande-Bretagne. Les Américains qui affronteront les Norvégiens et l'équipe de la Corée qui affrontera l'équipe de la Suisse. En soirée, demain, 18h, le Canada qui reprendra place sur la glace à nouveau à 18h pour affronter l'équipe de la Corée. Session numéro 10 de ce round robin, encore une fois en fauteuil roulant. Les Américains, pendant ce temps-là, toujours à 18h demain, vont affronter l'équipe du Japon. Et quelques commentaires, il y aura un match entre l'équipe de l'Italie et l'équipe de la Norvège. Encore une fois, nous voulons saluer nos téléspectateurs qui nous syntonisent via Internet au www.paralympicsport.tv. Nous sommes très heureux à nouveau de vous avoir avec nous ici sur les ondes de Puck Radio. Et nous souhaitons également que vous serez avec nous jusqu'à la fin de ce tournoi. And I was talking curling, as you know, earlier in the last few minutes. If you go to the Vancouver Paralympic Center, keep with you your little green machine that you get here at the UBC Thunderbird Arena. And when you get to the Vancouver Paralympic Center, tune into Hack Radio. So you take your radio there to watch all the wheelchair curling and listen to our expert commentary for all the wheelchair curling sessions. Lorsque vous irez faire un petit tour au Centre paralympique de Vancouver pour voir toute l'action du curling en fauteuil roulant, conservez votre radio et syntonisez nos collègues et amis de Hack Radio pour tous les commentaires de nos experts. Once again, in this third period, if you have any questions, you want to learn more about sledge hockey, you can ask our panel, Rob Snook and Rick Middleton, on the 604-404 puck. And talking about Rob and Rick, here they are.
And getting set for period number 3, where Canada begins the period with a 5-0 lead over Norway. The teams are at full and even strength. Ray Grassi makes a nice pass for Greg Westlake, who's got 2 already. Skating in, shooting off the side of the goal post. And by the way, there's a new keeper in the Norwegian net. Kissinger Deng came in the late stages of that second period. Sorry, he's not new at the beginning of the period, but to start the game.
That could have been the third period in a row where they scored a goal in the first 30 seconds.
Canadians still hounding Norway. Johansson back to get it. Canada seems to be well poised to making a semi-final appearance and winning Pool B. And that would mean they would play against Japan if that follows through. Not tomorrow, but the next day. And I don't know what day it is of the week anymore, Rick. We're so far into this thing. I think that today's Tuesday, so yeah. I think that means Thursday. Canada would play Japan at 7 at night. The U.S. would play Norway at noon that day.
At noon. That makes sense. The Canada game probably on TV, but we'll find that out.
Well, it'll be on ParalympicSport.tv. We know
sure.
that.
Yep.
And it'll be on Puck Radio, too. There's a shot by Mark Dorian. That just missed. Now Dixon into the corner for Dorian. Went off of his stick. And Hagen will get it for Pettersson. Out to center, easily stolen by Bridges. Then he jams on the brakes. Puck grab by Adam Dixon, and he'll shoot it into the zone.
Norway's looking like they're just going to write this 15 minutes off and worry about the next game.
I would think that a big concern for Team Canada would be nobody take a dumb penalty, nobody get himself suspended, anything like that. That would have had to have been the message in the second intermission.
Norway knows they've got another life to live, so, you know, they don't get all caught up in this pride thing, and they lose, and next game's next game. I've seen it happen a couple times.
Dixon will zing it around the boards for Canada. Whitson will chase it down the ice. And this might go for an icing call. It does. We're 2 minutes and 25 seconds into period number 3. Louis.
Yes, of course, once again on the 604-404 puck, 7825, we have this question here. Are there any former NHL players playing in sledge hockey. Have you ever heard about this? Good one, huh?
No, actually, I don't know of any, recreationally or at the club level. I know players that, and I don't even know coaching, but I know they've been involved in sledge hockey, helped out programs, that type of thing. But as far as coaching or playing, I haven't heard of too many, no.
But Louis, we have a former NHL player sitting right beside us, and Rick Middleton. We have the head coach of Team USA, Ray Maluta, who's had some time in the National Hockey League. The assistant coach of Team Norway, George Kingston, who is a former coach in the National Hockey League. So certainly rich NHL, or there's an NHL tradition. And the puck shot on net, saved by Rosen with Stigtore Sve right there.
And there's some NHL teams that help out the local club teams, such as the Blackhawks, the Chicago Blackhawks. They have a sled hockey team, and I'm not sure at what level the NHL team helps them out, but they use their jerseys, their logos, their name. Colorado Avalanche, another one.
Rangers.
New York Sled Rangers. The Rangers, I know, give not only funds, but the jerseys and ice time and that type of thing. So there are NHL teams that do help out at the club level.
Great. Interesting question, actually.
And I believe there are 4 players on Team USA who play for the Buffalo Sabres sled hockey program.
I forgot Buffalo, and that's one of the biggest programs in the country for youth sled hockey players and adult.
Mostly in USA.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any Canadian teams have that. That's an interesting question. Or
possibly in Ottawa. A lot of the Canadian players play up around the Ottawa area, and the Senators may do something up there.
Interesting to know if other countries have, Malmo has a huge program in Sweden with able-bodied hockey, and I believe their sled hockey program has some affiliation there as well. Play is in the Norwegian zone right now. Brad Bowden, who has 4 points on 5 goals for Canada tonight. He'll escape off the ice after another good shift. Greg Westlake, his line mate, will make a pass, and then he too will get off the ice. It's an offside call against Canada at the Norwegian blue line.
Well, this game is just going through the motions right now. Canada really doesn't want to start a fire in the third period here, at least so far. They're not hitting like they were in the first 2 periods. I guess they don't want to wake them up, but Norway seems content, as I said, just to run this clock out and get this game over with, which I don't blame them.
And if you're Team Canada, you just roll 3 lines, yes?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Which I think he's going to.
Again, the way the sledge hockey rosters are set up, and a big hand given for the volunteers here at the Paralympic Winter Games, and of course they deserve it. But the way rosters are set up is teams typically use 4 defensemen, and so 2 pairs, and then 3 forward lines. You can have 15 defensemen if you want, and 1 forward, but of course that's the typical way teams set it up.
Norway only dressed 12 players, and now they're down a defenseman. Rolfstad's not on the bench, as far as I can see.
Well, they dressed 14.
14?
Including the goaltenders, yeah.
Oh, yeah, including the goaltender. 12 players and 2 goalies.
A couple of players who don't get much ice time at all. And I wonder if we'll see more of those players. Jakobsen would be one of those.
Yeah. Johansson.
We're 4.5 minutes into the third period. Team Norway gets the puck across the Canadian line. Knocked back ahead by Graham Murray. Royne and Sve get it ahead, but the Canadians just quickly reverse it, and Ray Grassi with a long shot from about 75 feet away, and that just missed the net, being tended by Kissinger Deng rather. And Ray Grassi won't miss an opportunity to make a hit as he rams into Eskil Hagen, the 39-year-old Norwegian player. Mark Dorian comes up with the puck now for Canada. And his pass, not a good one, but he gets it back again and gets some help from Bridges. He has it stolen by Hagen. And the Canadians work it back to center. Billy Bridges trying to stay on side. He does, trying to reach the pass. And he absorbs a hit. And then has the puck pass him. Then he just muscles Vierens off the puck. Sends it back for Whitson.
Billy has put on a couple pounds, and he's a much bigger player than I remember him just 8 years ago. Very solid on his sled, tough to knock off.
By the way, the love of Billy's life is a name well known to Canadian hockey fans, Sammy Joe Small. Penalty coming here, it'll be against Johansson. And it'll be a roughing penalty, no doubt. As he wasn't enjoying getting a collision with Matheson. Or was it Whitson? I can't remember, but Norwegians now arguing.
It was Matheson. He gave him a left.
The linesman just spun around Lloyd Remiro Hansen.
Just received a text message also from someone who is listening to us here at UBC. He's telling me that the Phoenix Coyotes also are involved in
with their local team.
Yeah, with their sledge hockey team. There's also a website.
Well, it's good that our research department extends beyond our broadcast booth.
It's Noel in Phoenix actually who just wrote us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there's tournaments all over the country. When I was coaching a club team, we used to travel to Dallas, Buffalo, and play in tournaments.
Rick, it looks like the Canadians really want to work on their power play. They don't need to score any more goals, but they have got their top 5 power play players on the ice, and that means Brad Bowden playing on the point along with Adam Dixon. Well, now Labonte slides back there again. Dixon's pass nowhere near where it needed to go. And now it's intercepted by Bowden, and he'll start the rush for Canada. Brad Bowden, his pass, again, a little bit off sync, out of sync. Now Westlake throws it in behind the net. Bowden will chase it. Hagen gets to it. And Eskil Hagen will have a chance to clear it. And he does down the ice.
Hagen's right-handed. He dropped his right-handed stick. He took his left-handed stick, moved it to the right hand, and shot it down the ice.
Billy Bridges, cross-ice pass, finds Brad Bowden. Across the line, drops it back for Westlake. Cuts to the middle, back to Bridges. Couldn't connect. Canadians beginning a line change, at least of their defensemen. Now Dixon takes the puck from Bridges, skates it in, and his pass was blocked on a good play by Morten Vierens, and he'll send it down the ice. Canadians just over half a minute to go in this power play. Grassi, his pass finds Bridges. He had to reach for it, but he did well to receive it. Now Westlake to the Norwegian line. He'll dump it in and head off on a line change. Canadians have now changed up their entire power play unit. Nordstoga taken away by the Canadians. Booker, power play as it's just a few seconds left. In behind the net, Nicholson's pass intercepted. They battle for it though, right in front of the net. Nicholson gets it back. Surveys the scene, gives the puck to Murray. In for Booker, and he had to knock it out of the air and then couldn't get a shot away.
You know, watching Bjornstad all game, he just doesn't look the same Helge Bjornstad that I remember. He doesn't have the jump in his step. He's playing the wing when he's naturally a center.
Yeah, they had him at center to start the game, Rick. I'm not sure where he ended up.
Well, he's been playing wing most of the game.
Again, if you've just joined us, a big story, a big part of the story of this game is, well, two things. The Canadians scored just seconds into the first period and seconds into the second period to take the wind out of Norway's sails, and the absence of Tommy Rovostad, one of the top 5 players in the world in sledge hockey over the last decade or so. And he is, we haven't seen him since the first period, and we don't expect to see him anymore. Matheson throws a hit and knocks Verns down. And an icing call against Norway. There's 6:26 to go in the third period.
And really the poor goaltending of Johansson. I mean, you're playing in a big game against a top-seeded team, and to me, the quality of the goaltending wasn't there, although the defensive play in front of him, he was left abandoned on many occasions.
Just getting a text now passed to me, Rick, from Liliana Lubicic, who's a great Canadian athlete in the summer sporting realm of track and field.
Oh, yeah.
And she's just a phenomenal competitor over the years and has gone on to be a great ambassador for Canada in many ways. And she's enjoying, she happens to be a blind athlete, and so she's certainly enjoying our commentary, she says, on the game.
Well, I hope she can kind of envision it from our description.
Well, we're trying. I had the privilege of being Lilo's guide once on a flight home from Germany, and I'll finish that story in just a second. It taught me a lot. There's a shot on net. Paul Rosen makes the save, and he holds on. I wasn't a very good guide, Louis, and Lilo, by the way, is about 6'2" or 3.
Okay.
And so we were walking through the airport, and she kept banging her head on things because I'm only 5'9", and so I didn't realize it. I thought we were going to clear, there's some overhanging things, and so anyway, that was kind of fun. And then we took a flight home from Berlin, and she said to me, often people who are blind, people think that they can hear better because they're blind.
Right.
And I said to her, I didn't know, I've heard that too. And she said, it's not that we hear better, it's that we listen better. She said, because we have no choice, because we can't see, so we don't have seeing to fall back on, and so we listen better. And I thought that was quite a statement. I've always remembered that.
Absolutely. Where's she listening from?
She just says that we've made her night. So I'm not sure if she's in the building or if she's watching on ParalympicSport.tv.
And maybe we can invite everyone also who's watching us and listening to us also on the internet. Where are you actually, maybe in the world? 604-404-PUCK. We may be curious actually to know where you are at the moment. So 604-404-PUCK. Évidemment, on est également présent en français. 604-404 PUCK.
It's really exciting to think that we could be heard all over the world. With people watching the sled hockey game in Norway, Sweden. Well, we welcome anybody listening all over the world.
There could be somebody watching and listening to us tomorrow in Australia. It's tomorrow already.
Right.
There you go.
And also maybe in Norway.
Put another shrimp on the bobby.
There we go. The puck dumped into the Norwegian corner. Helga Bjornstad goes back to get it, spins away from Westlake. Westlake, stick handling, dodging, twisting, turning, gives the puck to Bowden. Those two practically have had it on a string throughout the tournament between each other. And who is the best player in the tournament so far, Rick Middleton? Is it one of the three Canadians who are so often talked about, Bowden, Westlake, Bridges? Is it a player on Team USA that we saw earlier?
Well, Westlake, obviously, with all the goals, but this kid Bowden, to me, we never saw him in 02 because he was injured. He didn't play for the Canadian team, thank goodness. But he's really impressed me game in, game out with his speed, with his playmaking, with his ability to receive checks and bounce off them and keep going. I really like his game.
Me too. I'm a big fan, but it's hard to pick. They're all playing so well. Adam Dixon back on the blue line for Canada. He controls the game from back there, much like, and you talked about Andy Yohe and Taylor Chase on the U.S. team.
Right.
This is shaping up to be an excellent tournament, Louis.
It's already tomorrow in Toronto also at this moment.
You're right.
Yeah.
It is tomorrow.
So Toronto here.
You wouldn't be at work, though. That was what I was getting at. You'd be sitting in your office watching on the computer in Australia.
Oh, yeah, you're right. 604-404-PUCK. We're just curious to know and to listen and to read, actually, where you're from in the world at the moment.
Royne up ahead, trying to make a pass. Royne was now clobbered by Bridges. Royne was one of the players who impressed us and who scored those two late goals, but he's He's not packing it in. Number 13 on Norway is continuing to battle to the end.
Well, you got to have some pride here. You're not going to quit. You got another big game coming up in 2 days.
And a big hit thrown. Shot on the Canadian net. The puck loose. Norway can't get a shot. Royn might now. Johansson throws it into the corner. And Canada just trying to get it out. Graham Murray will shovel the puck down the ice. Less than 3.5 minutes remain. Norway coughs up the puck in front of their own net, but no Canadians were in deep. And now it is shot back into the zone by Hervé Lord. Whitson steals it for Canada. Whitson doesn't shoot yet. Trying to make a pass for Lord. It doesn't get where it's intended to get.
I think Svei heard some footsteps there. He was looking up, trying to make a play in a hurry. But the thing is, you're going to get hit anyways, so you might as well just eat the puck, take the hit, then make the play.
Sent down the ice now by Norway. This will be yet another icing call with now 2:42 remaining. So let's look ahead at the schedule. Tomorrow's game, two of them, will be classification games. And so at noon, it'll be the Czech Republic against Italy. And at 7 tomorrow night, it'll be Sweden against Korea. Here's why this is important. Obviously, these teams take a lot of pride in their placing. And so finishing 5th is better than 6th, and so on. But more than that, if you finish 8th in this tournament, you do not qualify for the next World Championships in the A pool, in the A division. And so none of the 4 teams on the bottom half, Czech, Italy, Sweden, or Korea, want to have that. And then the schedule for Thursday, we talked about it a few minutes ago. It'll be USA against Norway at noon. It'll be Canada against Japan at 7 at night. Here at the UBC Thunderbird Arena.
They're still throwing their weight around out here. Murray with a good hit there, broke his stick.
Verns for Norway, trying to break the Canadian shutout, passes into the middle. Too far for Odin Bakier. Canadians bang it out to the line, and Jeremy Booker is spun around at center, manages to get the puck in. Maybe in the first period that had been called on a hold, but not now. Dorian for Whitson. His shot ends up in behind the Sweden icing line. Hervé Lord throws a hit on Verns. Under 90 seconds to play now. Puck shot in. Hervé Lord dodges out of the way of the Adam Dixon dump in. Now Rolf Einar Pedersen in behind his net for Verns. Around the boards for Bjornstad. Kept in by Labonte. Overskates it. And Eskil Hagen has it now for Norway.
Instead of breaking and giving himself a chance to get a shot on net, Hagen's just satisfied with dumping it in.
Save made by Rosen. He couldn't handle the rebound, but got some help from Dixon, who slides the puck into his keeper. He'll hold on, and we got a whistle. And again, actually the shots on goal in this period are favoring Norway 4-0, but Canada's not worried too much about that, I suppose.
No.
Rick, Rob, quickly, I want to say hello to all those people who texted me a few minutes ago. We have some people who are watching and listening to us in Simon Fraser University, right here in Vancouver, in Burnaby. Caddy, go, Canada, go. There are some people here from New Brunswick, Waterloo, also Ontario, Winnipeg. Bridges' brother-in-law also, he's coming around on Thursday. Some people also in Phoenix who are inviting us to go on the air with them on the radio, maybe. Don't know if it's an invitation to visit Phoenix. Some people here also in London, Ontario. We've got lots of people there.
Won't take
lots
much
of people.
to get us
Yeah,
to Phoenix.
Of course.
No,
604-404 puck.
London's a nice place, but we'll definitely go to Phoenix if they're buying the plane ticket.
As long as we get tickets to the Coyotes.
Ray Grassi with a shot again. He wants a goal. He shot twice now from almost 100 feet away, and both times. This time that should record a shot. Now they give Canada a shot on goal. Here's another shot. That was stopped by Kissinger. Dang, he reached out with a blocker arm.
That was a nice save.
Let's let the crowd take us home. Team Canada will win it.
Well, we got a little scrum afterwards. Pedersen went in hard on Murray.
With the elbow.
Grassie's getting in there.
Canada scores early and often, really, to win it 5-0 over Norway. And not a result that many expected. But I did say to you before the game, Rick, this could get ugly, and it did.
I was going to hear this, and you were right. You astute hockey man, you.
Louis, a victorious game for Team Canada. Rick, final thoughts for you before we pass on to Louis.
I'm flabbergasted. I really didn't think this about Norway. I knew how Canada could play, but I didn't think Norway would have a game like they had tonight. But with that said, I wouldn't be too confident if I was a USA team, because these guys can rebound and they can still play the game.
The one thing that USA has that Norway does not have is depth. And Team USA will be facing Norway in the semifinal, and the US can throw 3 lines at Norway that can pretty much do what the Norwegian best players can do. So we'll wait and see.
You got it.
Louis, we pass it on to you for the post-game show, and we thank
you.
everyone for listening and passing us their messages from far and wide.
Thank you, and more messages once again. Some people from McMaster University right here, Hamilton, Canada. Also some people here right downtown Vancouver. Here in the lobby near the photo. I don't know. That's lots of text message in since a few minutes.
And Louis, we know that we're being broadcast in the concession stands here as well. So
of course.
Hello to all the folks who are working the concession stands. You guys are doing a great job, and thanks for listening.
Merci Rick, merci Rob. Revenons ensemble brièvement sur ce match ici ce soir au UBC Thunderbird Arena, alors que l'équipe du Canada prenait place sur la patinoire pour son 3e match du tournoi jusqu'à maintenant et affrontait ses rivaux de la Norvège. Voyons voir de quelle manière ça s'est déroulé. L'équipe du Canada qui s'amenait sur la glace gonflée à bloc en début de match. À la 31e seconde, Billy Bridges qui enfile l'aiguille pour le Canada, son premier but du tournoi, 1-0 pour le Canada. Adam Dixon et Brad Bowden également ont récolté des passes sur la séquence. Glenn Westlake, à la 7e minute en première période, inscrit son 6e du tournoi. 6e but pour le numéro 12. Brad Bowden également récolte une passe sur la séquence. C'était alors 2-0 pour l'équipe du Canada. Now let's have a look at the second period here at the UBC Thunderbird Arena, as it was 2-0 for Canada. At the 11th second of the second period, Brad Bowden scores his another goal for him, his third of the tournament, 3-0 for Canada. A few minutes later, Glenn Westlake also will score his second of the game and his 7th goal of the tournament for 0 Canada. And also at the 26th minute, Adam Dixon will score the 5th goal for Canada. 5-0 for Canada, and no goal were scored in the third period. So final score, 5-0 for Team Canada. Also, I can tell you that Team Canada won also in the shots on goal, 12 for Canada and 8 for Team Norway. Également, je vous rappelle les autres pointages ici même aujourd'hui au UBC Thunderbird Arena. Un peu plus tôt aujourd'hui, l'équipe de la République tchèque qui l'a emporté par la marque de 4-2 contre l'équipe de la Corée. Quelques instants plus tard, ici en matinée, en début d'après-midi, 1-0 victoire de la Suède contre l'équipe de l'Italie. And a little bit later today, at 5 p.m. tonight, Team USA won 6-0 against Team Japan. Here are the games for tomorrow here at UBC Thunderbird Arena at 12. Classification game between Team Czech Republic and Team Italy. And at 7 p.m., Team Sweden will face Team Korea. Alors, en mon nom personnel, Louis-Simon Lapointe, toute l'équipe également de Puck Radio, merci beaucoup d'avoir été avec nous. Ce fut un plaisir pour nous de vous accueillir encore une fois ce soir ici sur nos ondes. Au plaisir de vous retrouver, bien entendu, au cours des prochaines heures. Et j'espère que vous passez une excellente fin de soirée ici même à Vancouver. On behalf of myself, Louis-Simon Lapointe, Rob Snook, and Rick Middleton, thanks for being with us from all around the world, I guess, and hopefully we will see you again here on Puck Radio. See you later from UBC Thunderbird Arena. Enjoy.
IBC Distribution Center, Channel 3, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. IBC Distribution Center, Channel 3, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel.